Hey guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny and I'm going to read a few Reddits I just found. And I've had these saved for a while. I didn't just find these, I just was browsing Reddit and I was like, oh yeah, I have Reddit saved that I wanted to talk about because this one right here in r slash confessions, I was like, what? Okay, I gotta figure out all about this. So it says used ChatGPT to get a director level job before it was cool. Back in March 2023, ChatGPT was known and mainstream enough, but hadn't quite broken into the corporate world yet, at least not in my country. I worked for a pretty large organization and had been in my manager level job for about a year. Some director level jobs opened up and I wanted to apply. No harm in doing so and wanted to get experience in the application process. I did the same thing when I was working. Always go for it, always. I got feedback from a number of people and used ChatGPT to incorporate all of that back into my application and got it to make my CV sound more professional. My application had made it to the interview stage, which surprised me, but I did put in a fair bit of time on the app, even without ChatGPT, so that was all right. I got the email explaining the interview format: virtual interview for 1 hour, 4 questions across project management, people management, etc. But I would have access to the questions 10 minutes before the interview. Interesting. You can guess where this is going. I set up my webcam on my computer, put ChatGPT on a laptop in front of my computer screen, wireless keyboard on my lap. I basically set it up so that it looked like I was looking at my webcam even when I was typing reading off my laptop screen. I can type without looking at my keyboard, and I can confidently fill in my answers from my head as I was typing. Somehow it stopped recording, but I had moved the camera over to show you guys that my hallway light was tripping. Hopefully, just the light bulb was burning out, but that was freaking me out. So I'm not sure where it left off, but we're going to start here. My application had made it to the interview stage, which surprised me, but I did put in a fair bit of time on the app, even without ChatGPT, so that was all right. I got the email explaining the interview format: virtual interview for 1 hour, 4 questions across project management, people management, etc. But I would have access to the questions 10 minutes before the interview. You can guess where this is going. I assume he's going to use ChatGPT for the answers. I set up my webcam on my computer, put ChatGPT on my laptop in front of my computer screen, wireless keyboard on my lap. I basically set it up so that it looked like I was looking at my webcam even when I was typing reading off my laptop screen. I can type without looking at my keyboard, and I can confidently fill in my answers from my head as I was typing to ChatGPT. I ran all 4 questions through ChatGPT before the interview and read through the answers. I basically answered 90% of all of the questions word for word from ChatGPT. Wow, word for word. Wow. I use ChatGPT and I don't. Sometimes I might use word for word when I ask it to help me with a description just because, it's good. But I will tell it what I want in my description, absolutely. But as far as like scripts and things like that, I do change it because I use it to help me, like, so I don't say like and stuff like that, so I can copy and paste it into CapCut where I have a teleprompter and blah blah blah. Anyway, okay, as I was an internal candidate, further rounds of interviews were not conducted. I now have a job which puts me in the 95th percentile of salary earners in my country. Wow. Thanks to GPT 3 or 3.5 at the time, a lot of people that gave me feedback, and even I was surprised I got the job. While the way I got the job feels unethical, I'm actually pretty decent at the job, and others have told me that I am better than some people that have been in the job for way longer than me. Not much point to the story except that I wanted to tell someone, and I can't tell anyone in real life. Application interview process nowadays try to detect and filter out applicants using AI now, so no, not really repeatable. Edit: since this post got more popular than I expected, some additional info. All right, we got additional info. Let's take a break, take a drink of water, get a snack. Get your drink. I got water. So this is the edit. Few people claiming this to be fake. Believe what you will. I'm not really trying to sell anything or karma farm. Just wanted to voice something I can't tell people in real life. Totally understandable. People in the comments have given me a few things to think about, but don't really change much in real life. Interesting to think about the different perspectives people have raised. Just keep in mind that your experience with jobs and interviews and such is just your own. Different industries and companies do things differently. He's right. It was scenario questions with a lot of detail that was given 10 minutes before the interview. Think along the lines of current state of fictional project or problem, and I had to answer with what I would do to get it back on track and why I would do it. There were plenty of follow up questions as the panel dug into my answers, which I answered where I could or got help from ChatGPT when I wasn't sure. My experience in interview performance is not the same as work performance. I've interviewed many people that check all the boxes on their application and interview but suck at their job. Plenty of people that can't do applications and interviews well are excellent at their roles. It's the attitude, adaptability that matter. It's so true. So true. I am still in the job and I'm one of the best performers in my area and have had pay bumps in both my last two reviews. Director level jobs don't come with a handbook and it's not something you can do well with the book knowledge. I've been lucky to have two really good mentors over the last 2 years that have been very valuable. I was an internal candidate, and my referee was a pretty well respected director in my organization. While she could have me a good referee report, her influence couldn't really secure me the role. The interview panel and recruitment decision makers were from another area of the company. That being said, what I don't know is what I don't know. Okay, let's talk about another one. I thought this one was interesting. I haven't read this one though yet. AITA for not taking my wife's best friend on our romantic vacation. I, 32 male, planned a surprise 5-year anniversary trip for my wife, 30 female, to Bali. Booked a private villa, couples massages, sunset dinner cruises, the whole romantic package. I only could afford this after a win on Stake US. What's that? When I revealed the surprise, my wife was thrilled, but immediately asked if her best friend Sarah could join us. Apparently, Sarah just went through a bad breakup and needs to get away. I explained this was meant to be a romantic trip just for us. My wife got upset, saying I'm being selfish since we have plenty of money and it could easily upgrade to a 2-bedroom villa. I make good money, but I specifically saved for this romantic getaway. I offered to help Sarah book a separate vacation or even pay for her therapy sessions. Wow, nice dude. But my wife insists that having Sarah with us as the only solution. It's odd. Now my wife is barely speaking to me, and Sarah keeps sending passive aggressive texts about being excluded when I need support most. What? Like he says, like the fuck? The hallway light was freaking out, and now my dog keeps barking in the hallway. It's kind of creepy. This bedroom, the blinds. One night, my daughter and her friend were in here, and it was like midnight. They both came running in my room. They were crying. They were so scared. They were sitting on the bed, and the blinds had kind of moved up a little bit, and then they're one of those, they're not the twist blinds that you twist and they open. It's like a one thing that you pull down and then you let go. See? So that flew up one night while they were laying in bed, and oh my god, that would have scared me too. Oh my god. Anyway, okay. So yeah, like the fuck? What do people say? Not the asshole, but your wife is. Yeah, for real. This says deleted. Did he? Okay, no. All this, it was deleted for some reason. That comment, right? I don't get how she flipped it on him like he was the bad guy. It's their anniversary, not a group healing session. Because Sarah is her primary relationship, OP is a side piece. Come at the come what? But because Sarah is her primary relationship, OP is the side piece. Come ATM in his own relationship. I'm not even insinuating she's sleeping with her friend. What I'm saying is OP's wife is more closely bonded to her friend emotionally, and she cares more about what the friend thinks, wants, and needs than her own husband. I also get the feeling that the breakup and needing support is just a ruse. The cold hard fact is the OP is not enough. In order for the wife to enjoy this getaway, she needs her besties on the massage table beside her. OP's wife can't get into the idea of a romantic getaway when all she really wants is a girl's getaway. Well, it's going to be their last anniversary if wife doesn't get with the program. Tell her again this is a romantic couples trip. Her friend is not going. The trip is for two, and you've generously offered to cover an alternate getaway for her and therapy. What remains for your wife is to decide whether she has any interest in joining you for this romantic trip, because if she's not, tell her you'll try to find somebody else to take her spot. I like that. On top, I would be so excited to go on vacation, especially if it's a surprise. Your wife doesn't appreciate you and what you do for her. I can't say for sure, but I took it as your wife and your friend seemed too close since she wanted her friend in a romantic vacation. I agree. Next, your wife will have you build Sarah an art studio at your house. NTA, not the asshole. Okay, this is probably going to be the last one. I have one saved to do tomorrow night, but tonight we're going to read this one. AITA, if I don't tell a potential roommate, I am an alcoholic. I'm in the early stages of recovering from a huge drinking problem. I've been working with my therapist, and although I've improved a ton, I still drink a little every day. I've never been to AA as I haven't found a group that completely cuts out the religious aspect. The Southern US, what can you do? But as I said, I've worked a lot with my therapist, so I'm not trying to do this by myself. My friends and family are aware and supportive. So I don't know if it's just the shame, guilt, trauma talking, but if I still drink 1 to 2 drinks almost every day, do I need to disclose this to a stranger that might move into my apartment? Yes. ETA, I don't think I should live with someone who drinks heavily, so I would want to know this info. However, it's very personal, so I don't know if I would be an asshole for wanting to know beforehand either. It seems like a thin line between being invasive and also being important info for someone you live with to be aware of. Edit 2. I don't know how you get diagnosed as an alcoholic other than recognizing unacceptable behavior while drinking. My abusive ex is the only one that ever called me an alcoholic, and I do not take that accusation lightly. I have been treating my unhealthy habits as addiction. I have gone 1 to 2 days without drinking or even wanting a drink recently. It's a new development to not want to drink, but I would rather treat this as alcoholism than act like I don't have a problem at all. That is great, that last sentence. I want to treat it as alcoholism, even if I don't have a problem at all, because it does sound like if you can go 1 to 2 days without drinking, you're probably not an alcoholic. A true alcoholic, and this was 3 months ago, so I do hope, let's see, I do hope that he has recovered. Oh, whoa, okay. Well, he's got some stuff going on. Oh no, are these just his comments? Okay, here's his post. He's on here a lot. So anyway, if you are not in withdrawal after not drinking for 1 to 2 days, then you're not an alcoholic. However, you're walking a thin line if you think you might be one. All right, guys, my throat hurts. I'm tired. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna get this edited and put out tomorrow. Check out my nail polish. Isn't it pretty? It's called Midnight something. My nails look terrible. Like my around my nails, whatever that's called. I've been anxious lately, so I chew on that. I hate that. I hate that I do that. So I stopped for a long time. My husband would catch me. He'd say, "Quit chewing on your fingers." Anyway, and now after a couple weeks ago, I've just been so anxious and biting my nails off. So I've got them painted, which I normally do. This is the Sally Hansen Miracle Gel. I love it. Now they have a primer, and even without the primer before, this nail polish stays. And it's one of the only ones that I can use and have it stay. Also, I'm not very good at painting my nails, so the top coat really helps the mistakes. It's really it's thick and shiny, and I don't know, I love it. I think I did a good job, kinda, and I love this color. I love dark nails. I tried to do pink and stuff, but pink nails, I don't like it. I think it's funny also, and no offense to anybody that does this, but getting green or yellow toenail polish, oh my goodness, even your fingernails, don't you ever worry that it looks like a fungus? Because that's what I always think. Is that a fungus or is that nail polish? I'm just kidding. I never look at people's feet. Feet gross me out. Anyway, it's been a long day. I don't feel good. I need to go take more Robitussin and go to bed. Good day. Whatever time it is, whenever you see this, and take care of yourself, take care of each other, get sunshine, vitamins, drink your water, and I'll catch you in the next one. Love you guys. Good night.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee